Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Benchmark, they're speaking the facts that you wanna hear. That rapper jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. I taking an L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. You playing the seats, now it's time to grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my about to blow.
I ain't seen from now. Miles, you really.
Benchmark Podcast. What's up, bro?
You're welcome back. It's another episode of the Bench Mob ENT. You already know the vibes. We are here to give you more, never less. Ain't no complaining over here because we mad blessed. I got the full squad and a plus one. Gang. Rube in the building. How you doing tonight, Rube?
I'm chilling, bro. How you doing?
I'm great over here. No complaints on this side. And since we already started over there, we got Star Greg, Mr. Hot Takes, Debate Your Mom, Mets Tape, Nets, Giants.
I don't know what Miles over there laughing for. Miles like he root for somebody who's good or something like that.
Sinsmere. How you feeling tonight?
I'm good, bro. I'm chilling, man. Life's good.
Then, of course, we got next to Greg. Y'all see on the camera, CJ Moneybags in the building. He decided to bless us with his presence. CJ Moneybags.
You throwing shit.
CJ Moneybags, how you doing tonight? Did you travel anywhere, anything like that? Any jet lag?
Yeah, here acting like it ain't summertime.
Mm-hmm. No jet lag?
It's summertime, bro. No jet lag, but we blessed. Football is back. I'm ready for it.
And of course, Miles, Knicks tape, smooth operator, left-handed. I do it for the ladies. Davenport is in the building.
I'm back in the building.
Back in the building. He's back on the market. Free agency is still going around, still throwing some contracts out there. You know, Dennis just got a 1 year, $5.9 million. I think Miles could get more than that. Yeah, hey, we post it all the time. If y'all like what y'all see, y'all know the IG. Miles_81, right? There you go. So y'all go follow him. He don't post often. We try and get him to post more often. So yeah, but we're gonna start off with this one. We laughing. We're gonna start off with a little serious topic right here. What's your thoughts on social activism? You know, we see things happening across the board, not even just for Black people, but anything that's happening. You know, things happen in the Middle East. You know, you got females being kidnapped, and we see a lot of times, especially in our era, obviously they didn't have this back in the day, but a lot of people will post, will retweet, but we know some of these people in real life and know they're not actually with the movement. They're not actually really supporting. It's just the trend. It's just what's popular right now. What's your thoughts on social media activism?
Okay, looking at me. Well, hey, honestly, to the angle I think about this from is the angle that affects me the most. I post about these things though. When these things happen in real time, I do post about them, but I'm very careful about what I post. And I don't judge anyone for not posting about it, especially if you're Black and things like that. But what I will say is, like, when you see, you guys follow, you know, Sean King on there. He has a way of posting the most traumatic images and the most traumatic moments of these encounters Black people have with the police, or especially police brutality with Black people. Like, that's his thing. That's where he gets off. So I can't look at that stuff repeatedly. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good for anybody to look at it repeatedly. I still have the image of Alton Sterling getting shot by that cop point blank. I never got out of my head from the day it happened in Louisiana years ago. I have never forgotten about it. So I'm very careful what I post. I post like tweets. I'll post things that kind of bring awareness to it and things like that. And mainly, if I'm being honest with you, my main reason for doing it is to make people uncomfortable. I just want to make people uncomfortable. I don't want people to be comfortable while I'm literally living in a world where I can't be. You know, where I gotta be cynical to the point where I feel like that's gonna keep me alive. I don't want you he slapping on the knee while Black people out here fearing for their lives for simple things like having an encounter with the cop. You know what I mean? Like people who are paid to protect you. Like you can't feel like you're safe. So for me, it is really to make people uncomfortable. It really is. I don't think that me reposting these things necessarily is going to change anybody's mind about how they feel about these things. I'm not naive enough to believe that. But what I know is it makes you uncomfortable for that split second, and that's the goal. That's my goal. So, that's I think that good things happen when people are uncomfortable, and or you know who they are, or you get to find out who they are, which I enjoy too. I like to stir the pot in that way. That I really do get off on that. That's fun for me. And it's not a fun topic, but that's really where my head is with it though. So when we have these conversations, it goes from like, why do you do it or why don't you do it?
Yeah.
Why don't you do it?
When it comes to that, right? Greg said he doesn't judge. Does anybody here look at specifically, because we're all Black in the show, do we look at other Black people a certain type of way? Do we judge them if we see they don't post anything about the things that's going on?
I don't think so. But again, like I'm not checking for it, right? I'm not looking at so-and-so's page and be like, oh, this happened. I don't see any posts on their page about it. If it's someone that frequently posts things about it, it's like you kind of expect to see that from their page. Like Greg, I've been following Greg a long time, and not only does he post a lot of sports stuff, but he is passionate about activism and things of that nature. And he does frequently post about it. But if I'm not looking at every Black person's account that I follow and saying like, oh, this just happened in Washington, D.C. I don't see it on their page. I don't see it on their page. I don't see it on their page. Because again, I don't always post about that type of stuff too, right? It has to, for me, it comes with something that I'm passionate about. If I see something that, I feel strongly about, I'll put it on my story or things like that. But again, because I want it to come from a place of, I want it to be genuine. Mm-hmm. I want it to not just feel like, oh, I'm just posting everything I see because, I want to, like, Greg's doing it for a point. Like he has a mission. He wants to make people feel uncomfortable and to get them thinking. For me, it's like, I want to make you aware, but I'm going to make you aware about something that I feel really strongly about.
Before you go on to the next thing too, I think it's nuanced when you talk about if you're judging people who don't post about it, Black people who don't post about it, because there are Black people I peep who don't post about these things, and it's like, oh, okay, I expect you not to post about these things. I'm gonna say, just being honest, so I don't judge most of the time, but it's nuanced though. It's about who we're talking about. It's about who we're talking about.
Case by case.
It's case by case. It's really case by case because, like I think we all know that Black person that, would like to ignore all the stuff that's going on with Black people and they want to hang out with all the white people and all that stuff and like just stay in that space and just stay there, right? And separate themselves, like almost like they aren't Black to the point where it feels a little offensive to you. I know I'm hitting a nerve for someone here. Someone who's going to listen to this. Maybe someone knows someone like that. I know people like that. But so that's when I like, okay, I see what you're on. But other than that, no, because I can't tell you how to deal with this trauma. I was going to
say the thing with that too that I want to make sure changes, at least in my inner circle of people. I saw a lot, especially when it comes to social media, of people basically trying to pressure you like, yo, you need to post. If you don't post, you're Black, you're less Black, or you're a bad Black person and things of that nature. As you said, these are very traumatic situations, even situations, I'm going to make it even broader, stuff that's going on in other places. The thing that I think we have to do also within that though, like for me, I don't post often about the Black issues. I don't post often about a lot of issues. For me, main thing is, one, I want to be educated on the topic, especially on something that I'm not informed on. Stuff going on in the Middle East. You got some people saying, hey, free Israel. You got some people talking about Saudi Arabia. You got two sides of it. I'm not educated enough to even speak on the topic, so I'm not going to post, this, because I see a lot of people be like, oh, so you post only about Black stuff, but what about the stuff that's going on over here? Nah, my boy, nah, my girl. I tried to just educate myself on the topic first and try not to be pressured by what's trending. Oh, they're talking about this right now, so I got to speak out. No, that's how you end up looking stupid, and it's a foot in your mouth, and you done, oh yeah, I support this. And you come to find out that wasn't even full information.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on social media, it's a lot of fake news. It's a lot of clips. It's a lot of, oh, this happened. You come to find out at a credible source, that's not the full case. There's another side to this story.
Yep.
Let's wait till the video comes out. Let's wait till these things come out. I think in this era of social media, when it comes to, it's nothing wrong if you want to be an activist on social media. Only thing I would say is you have to then walk that life in real life, because social media isn't real life.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only thing with it. I have no problem if you want to post it. If you're a Sean King type, if you want to do those type of things, keep it 100 in real life and actually do stuff that's going to bring about true change.
And that's exactly why it has to be genuine. You can't just be following a trend. If you're gonna post stuff, you got to be knowledgeable about it, and you have to have done your own research.
Yo, hey, hold on. I'm thinking about something I tell him all the time. I post about these things all the time. I'm very passionate about these things, but I tell him all the time, I will not die for this cause. I will not die. What I mean by that is I will refuse to die for this cause. So when I see people out here going to the marches, I respect you. I respect you. I respect what you're about. Like, that's huge. But guess what I'm not about to be doing? Going on these marches. You know why? Because cops are shooting rubber bullets in the crowds and taking people's eyes out and all that stuff. And like I said, like, there's a lot more in life I want to do. I'm not willing to die for this. There's not much I'm willing to die for. Okay?
Yeah, that's the conversation like Malcolm had. Malcolm saying, I'm willing to die for this. Like,
no.
I'm not built that way. I love my black people. I love my people of all races. I love all y'all.
Bro.
I will stand with y'all right here in this apartment.
But he won't.
No, but like there's other ways you can affect
Exactly.
change. Yo, I donated money to the Louisville Bail Fund when everything was going on. I donated money here and like I was really making a change in that way. Within my old company now. But within that company, within the company we worked at, I was leading discussion. Like I was having discussion. I was making people uncomfortable. I was making people uncomfortable, bro. You know, I really was. I was making people uncomfortable.
He finally got a piece of the pie. Hey, Rube, for you, right?
Yo.
Nah, don't even turn it that way.
Oh.
Yeah, don't even turn it that way. You could just leave it like that. I could hear him perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah, I could hear him perfectly. Yeah. Okay. You good right there. For your age bracket, because we see, I guess I can say I see it heavily, especially in your age bracket, with the trending and especially you actually have followers more than I think everybody on this show. You have followers, right? So with a social media following like that, where people obviously, you see it even on TikTok, little stuff like if you say, yo, comment on this or do this, people actually respond. So for you in your age bracket of having that following, being in sports, and that's definitely the trendy thing now, especially to do as athletes, is to speak out on these issues. How do you go about it? When do you choose to speak out, if you do speak out on these topics?
Well, like like Greg was saying before, like you want to be genuine about it, and you're gonna post what you're not gonna post for the trend, right? So people are gonna be able to listen to me and be like, okay, well, I follow him, dope person, and all this, and they're gonna listen to me, right? Because I have following on both Instagram, TikTok, that kind of thing. So yeah, people are gonna follow my lead and whatnot. But if I'm not educated on it myself, I don't feel like I should post it. But I'll definitely like bring awareness to it. So in that case, I'll post it on my story. People are gonna click it, do what they want to do with that information, but I can't teach them through whatever platform I have, because they're not gonna really listen if I don't know what I'm talking about. So I gotta know what I'm talking about first, and then I do post it and I say a few words on it and whatnot. People will DM me saying, "Oh, so what do you feel about this?" And I'll be able to tell them how I feel about it when I know. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm just posting it as a trend and whatnot, then people swipe up. It's going to be like, okay, like how do I say this now? How do I go about this? So I got to just make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Miles. Not often do we see Miles post. Not often do we even hear Miles talk. But when he does talk, it sometimes can be very philosophical and very deep. What are your thoughts in everything that's going on and with being a social media activist? Like, how do you go about handling that? Because I know from knowing you personally for like the last 26 years, you are definitely, as they would say, woke, and definitely are tapped in with what's going on in our community, what's going on with our plight, and what we're fighting for. You're very tapped in and very aware of what's going on. What are your thoughts and social media and how, as Greg mentioned, there's other ways to support the fight and show your support to what's going on?
Well, I think that it's very important for people to get out and talk on different topics pertaining to activism and injustice across the world. I mean, the main thing that's going on around here is police brutality, and we really saw an uptick in that last year. And I mean, there was so many protests, and it kind of felt like another civil rights movement last year. Like everybody was getting out. You saw so many people that, you know, otherwise might have not said anything about topics, getting out there and learning about these different things going on and trying to be educated. So I think that, I mean, times are different than they were back then. Like there's a lot more out there for us to spread the word. Like that's the main thing with social media. You can get information to people a lot faster than, you know, back in the 60s or 50s when stuff was going on. So, I mean, being educated so you know what's going on is probably the most important thing, because you don't want to get out there and kind of be faced with someone asking you questions on something and you have no idea what to say. So, I mean, there's so many articles out there online you can read, and I mean, on Instagram, Twitter, you just swipe up, and if something happened, like especially George Floyd, you see hashtags, go to the hashtags, you can learn so many things from those people and whatever they have to say. So I think it's a good thing, and it's important for people to post about it. And I mean, I don't look down on Black people who don't post about it, because you don't know, they might have their own opinion on it, and unless you talk to them face to face, you're not going to necessarily know about it. Because I mean, some people don't feel comfortable putting how they feel out there, and that's fine. But at the same time, you want to know, like, how do you feel about this situation going on, like the George Floyd situation or Philando Castile situation. Mm-hmm. So many situations out there lately that have come across. And I mean, the main thing we want to know is if you're on our side when it comes to this, because I mean, there are a lot of people out there who are against the Black Lives Matter movement and pretty vocal about it too, making it seem like it was just a bunch of thugs out there, even though, you know, people were allowed to just riot the Capitol. And is that okay? I don't think so.
Nah,
but you want to keep it a buck though. As I'm listening to him talk, one thing I realize is we talking about Black people and how comfortable they are reposting these things. I learn more about white people when they don't say anything than I do about Black people when they don't say anything. You know what I mean? I know as a Black person, you're affected by this. So whether you post about it or not, it really doesn't matter. You get pulled over, it could be curtains. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just could be, regardless. You are Black. You know what I mean? But as a white person, to not post anything about it in the moment, you have the right to do so. No one can force you to. No one can call you a bad person for doing that. But I do learn a little bit about you. It does tell me a little bit. Like, that much is true. Like, you know what I mean? I've always felt this way. Like, if you're not posting about it, bro, if you're not posting about it and you don't feel comfortable doing so, that's fine. But to not acknowledge it, like Miles said, I don't know which side you're on. I don't know how you feel. It's like the white people who choose to focus on the looting rather than the actual purpose of these riots, of what's going on, of these protests. I don't want to call them riots, of these protests, right? like the purpose of it is that the people are unheard, and no one cares. So it feels like no one cares. So that literally protesting is the language of the unheard. And so for you to focus on some looters, right? Because we all know someone that focused on the looters. I know plenty of people that did. Like, it don't make any sense. And then for you not to post anything about it on top of it, to not even acknowledge that it's happening, for me, that's more telling than when a black person doesn't post about it. Because look, that I can't tell somebody how to grieve. I can't tell somebody how to deal with a situation that affects them. Everyone's different. You might see a video of George Floyd getting shot or getting choked to death, or there's so many examples, and it might not sit with you the right way. You just don't want to talk about it. You know, that's fine. But I think I learned more about white people who don't, or forget that. Let's not even talk about everyone else who doesn't post about it. I learned more about you than I would a black person doesn't post about it. That's how I feel about it. I don't know how you guys think about it. But.
My thoughts on that, though, I don't look to anybody to try to see what side you on. Anyway, for me, I'm looking at the people that I rock with and knowing how everybody else rocking. And then the only thing I pay attention to is when I see certain people post about every other thing in the world but that, then it's a little different. Now, if you're just not posting in general, cool.
Yeah.
I don't really care. It don't faze me.
I agree with that.
But what I often see, though, I see people of all races, walks of life, ethnicities, sexual orientation, gender, have no problem and are way more comfortable posting about what's going on in the Middle East, way more comfortable posting about women going missing, way more comfortable posting about making sure that we have the rights for gays, the LGBT community, real comfortable with that. Oh, the baby said this, have no problem, all walks of life posting on those things.
Facts.
But when it comes to this issue of Black lives, a lot of people are quiet.
Antonio not playing with y'all today. He chose violence this morning.
That's where I have the issue with it, because
he
I don't post on every world issue that's going on. It's way too many anyhow. Way too many anyhow to be posting on everything that's going on. Like, I was just looking at last night, reading some articles, and again, you really gonna have to do research for me. I need to do I do research for the show. I need research to find out before I decide to post on said topic. There were 4 different views on Biden's passing of the law. I forgot what it was called, but where it was giving some money to farmers and infrastructure and things of that nature. First article I saw was like, yo, this whole bill is against white people, is anti-white, is racist. And the whole article was like, they're taking money away, basically saying, yo, if construction needs to be done, they're going to give it to minorities before they give it to a white small-owned business.
Oh, my God.
I read 2-3 different other articles. It says nothing about race in there. My point being, this is why I like to do research. This is why I pay attention to that. Yeah. That's where I pay attention to. For the people that, come up to you, hug you, I love you, I rock with you, they love to listen. This is the one that gets me. And we could probably, end it off here, switch to the next topic. This is the one that really gets me, that really sticks with me. As I said, everybody posts about everything else. Black lives seems like the most uncomfortable thing to post about. It seems like, oh, that's a taboo thing to talk about. We can talk about everything else in the world, but that's taboo. I don't know. But it's a lot of people outside of our race of Black people that love everything about our culture. They love our food. Oh, let me get some fried chicken and candy yams. They love our clothes, how we dress.
Yep.
They love our music. We know a lot of people love our men and love our women. But when it comes to actually standing with us, that's where the silence is. And that's where it gets to me really too. Those 2 instances. You can post about everything else, but you don't post about that. All right, cool, boom. That's where I'm with Greg. All right, I see where you stand. Cool. No hard feelings. It's cool. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like Black people. We already know the vibes.
I want smoke with all you guys.
I don't really care.
I want smoke.
It's so many people in this whole world that does not like us as a culture. That's fine. It's been happening for decades before I was here, and it's going to be happening decades after I'm gone. If God don't come back and just blow up this whole earth, it's still going to be happening. That's it. But I find it funny. Also, the other thing that takes me off is when, oh yeah, we want to get tattoos, because remember we started tattoos and we're thugs. No other race was doing tattoos before us, but we're thugs and all that. You see, people want to get do-rags. People want to get cornrows now, and they want to get dreadlocks, and they want to Oh yeah, I love me a thick on. Oh yeah, I want to girl with Meg Nat. So you love everything with the culture, but you don't love us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what be hitting to me.
That'd be it.
Had that conversation with some of my coworkers. I was like, oh yeah, you love that, right? And you love that, and you love that about a culture. You love the music. Wasn't you just saying you was listening to Lil Yachty and all? But me as a person, how you feel about me? How you feel about my people? That's where it takes me off. That's where I get the Greg I want to smoke. Like, oh, so when it's convenient, oh, you love this about the culture, but the actual people that created the culture,
Man, what just happened here is it's like, remember when D Wade was going on the court and threw that pass to Bron, and Bron dunked that hard as and it was like the iconic picture. I'm D Wade and he was Bron. He just dunked that hard. He dunked that. It was crazy. That's the analogy for what just happened. I just set that up. That's exactly it, though. That's exactly it. We can move on, but that's exactly it. I think it's more telling from our counterparts, not from black people. That's why if you're black and you're going, oh, you're a bad black person, you don't post about these things, you sound like an idiot. You just do. You don't know how these things affect us. It's hard. It's really hard. Like I said, I still close my eyes and can see Alton Sterling getting shot in my head. Like, for real. Like, there's a lot of black people that need help out here, for real. We need some therapy out here, because seeing people who look like you die repeatedly for no reason, that's damage. That's damage. That's gonna affect you years and years and years from now. So, nah, man, like, and seeing kids, Tamir Rice, 12 years old, killed by a cop. There's no bounds to if you are black anywhere, anywhere is the wrong. You could be, they say wrong place, wrong time. That's anywhere for a black person. That's anywhere, anytime. Anywhere, anytime is the wrong place and wrong time for a black person. Facts. That's a fact. So, like, how it affects us, I tend to be more lenient with. But how our counterparts react to it, how our Indian brothers and sisters, how our Asian brothers and sisters, how our white brothers, how they wanna deal with these situations, and if they want to post or not. Nah, man, like, that's where I have questions.
And I'll say this to end it all. Whatever race you are, you don't feel like posting on it, you don't feel like talking about it. On my end, I can speak for me. It ain't no hate. Ain't nothing in my heart towards you. Everybody was raised differently. Everybody different voice. Everybody got different opinions, different viewpoints, all of that above. How I was raised, how I live, how I believe, it's still love. I love everybody, whether you rock with me or not, whether you rock with my race or not. I love everybody. God did not come to this earth just for black people, just for white people, just for Spanish people. He came for everybody. We're one body, we're one human race. Some people, you just got to look and really be like Jesus said, and look at them like, yo, God forgive them, for they know not what they do. You might not be educated. You might feel some type of way towards black people, whatever the case may be. But guess what? It's something in my life that I'm flawed too. So I would hope that a grace will be extended towards me. I would hope forgiveness will be extended towards me also, because just because I may be woke, just because I may not have any hate towards my heart, towards any other race,
Facts.
I'm lacking, suffering in some area too, where you might be like, yo, what's wrong with him? Why he view it like that? Why? Same thing, flip. So it's no hate. Hey, like I said, if I see it, it is what it is. Pray for you. Hope your heart gets fit, because that's a heart issue, honestly. When we talking about you having hatred or you dislike a race, that's a heart issue. That's what it really boils down. That's a heart issue. It's spiritual. It's not even. It's spiritual. That's something so deep. We don't even got time for the show. Like, that's really a deeper thing.
That's
so
a deeper
only thing I can really do is pray for you. I'm not even going to go to the point that some people go like, all right, I'm gonna give you the facts. And if somebody's head is done made up, if they heart already gotten in, like, yo, they heart made up, mind made up, it ain't my job to try to change your mind and change your heart. That's already in there. Now, if you end up coming to me and you, can I, as Rube said, and they ask, oh, can you educate me on this? All right, that seems like somebody that their heart is soft and they want to know. Outside of that, you like, oh yeah, bet you got it, bro. I'll pray for you. Leave it at that. That's how I view it. we told
It's
y'all, we told y'all this was happening. Bench Mob ENT is no more longer Bench Mob podcast. We talk about everything. No topic is unsafe. There's something here for everybody. Everybody. So anybody that ends up watching this that's not black, we got something for everybody here. Somebody got educated from this conversation. Somebody might have felt uncomfortable and started a conversation. This is something here for everybody. We bigger than just sports, y'all. Y'all know the vibes. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Bench Mob, ENT, we out.